You're watching the Newshour Special Edition, Debate Number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's get straight to our debate and say good evening to GVL Narasimha Rao, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Lieutenant General B.S. Jaswal, former Army Commander of the Northern Command, with us this evening, Maruf Raza, Consulting Editor, also with us, Inamul Nabi, Spokesperson for the AIP. We are also expecting Saeed Agharullah, a former Minister and Chief Spokesperson for the National Conference, to also join us, and Irfan Hafiz Loan, a lawyer, joining us from Srinagar. Irfan Hafiz Loan, let's begin with you first this evening. Do you welcome this tunnel that has been inaugurated today, and the plan there is for 12 more of these tunnels that makes the travel easier between Jammu and Srinagar and integrates the valley to the rest of the country?
Yes, we all Kashmiris welcome every developmental, project or such inaugurations. But let me tell you, Tanvi, today Prime Minister made a very strong message. He said in last 40 years we have lost so many precious lives and nobody got benefited out of it. Thereby meaning that it's a problem. It requires a settlement. Number one. Number two, he referred these stone pelters as misguided youth. Yesterday, yesterday before on this channel, you people were so vociferous to say that the General Bipin Rawatji was right to say they are not misguided youth, but they are the terrorists, they are the anti-nationals. Today, Prime Minister himself referred them as misguided youth. Number three, Mehbooba Mufti said, who is the Honorable Chief Minister of the J&K, she said that Mufti Muhammad Said, his father, joined hand with the BJP with the aim to bring Kashmir out of trouble. She is conveying a message. And she also said that despite so many wars since 1947, the beauty of India is that they still believed in the process of dialogue. So what it conveys that Kashmir is a problem, it requires a settlement, and if today we are observing shutdown, it's not against development inauguration of this tunnel,
okay,
but just we want to register our protest against the atrocities and brutalities committed on Kashmiris.
And before I bring in my other panelists, Irfan Hafiz Loan, let me respond to what you are saying. What Mehbooba Mufti said, my interpretation of that is because she followed this statement that you made after she thanked the centre and she thanked Prime Minister Modi for helping in resolving the unrest that took place last summer. And so that is what the context of this was, that they need to work together to ensure there is peace in the valley. Yeah, I don't think this is about dialogue right now, and I don't think there must be dialogue or a political solution. Yes, Maruf, coming across to you, just wanted to clarify on a couple of things. And again, Irfan Hafiz Loan, repeatedly we have also said there may be a few who do get misled into stone pelting and go along with the crowd, and that's the whole point. Who is misleading them, and why are you allowing them to do that? Why are you giving them a platform?
No, you were of the opinion that they are the terrorists, they are the militants. Today, Prime Minister referred them as the misguided youth.
Across the border, Irfan Hafiz Loan, and you are saying, let's sit and talk to these people who are misleading our youth. That's what your solution, so-called political solution is. Maruf Raza,
Vajpayee held dialogue with these people.
Yes, Maruf, please.
Loan Sahab.
Our Prime Minister is really...
Loan Sahab, see Tanvi, Loan Sahab, please let us also speak. Loan Sahab, please let us speak. Yes. Now, Tanvi, I just want to make a couple of quick points. The first thing is that despite all the excitement about the tunnel, which is a great technological and engineering marvel, Kashmir wasn't completely isolated from rest of India. There is a highway that has been functional, not just there, which goes through the Banial Pass, which is Jammu-Srinagar highway, but there was another one which is Fairweather highway, which runs via Manali.
Yes, absolutely.
But there is air connection and there is others, but this is certainly going to be a major tactical achievement. And because of this, people all weather can move freely up and down from the valley to Jammu and beyond the rest of India. So as far as the integration plan of the government of India is concerned, it's a great step forward. I've always believed that if you want to solve the problem of Kashmir, which means Pakistan playing up and ratcheting up anti-India sentiment that there is no great development there, etc., you have to address the problems within. One of the ways to address the problems within is to cut out the sense of isolation and the fact that the Kashmiris are not getting enough of their due when India, the rest of India is prospering. But having said that, let me bring out two other quick points. One is the Independence Act of 1947 and the Radcliffe Commission Award both said very clearly that Kashmir, once it chooses under the Maharaja to become part of the Indian Union, which it did on 26th October 47, no other party has a role in it. Kashmiris keep saying Kashmir must be resolved. There must be political dialogue. There must be, the people's will must be sought. Now, I want to ask those people who keep raising this point, and this goes out to other Kashmiri panelists on your show, that what is your idea of self-determination? You're already a part of the Indian Union. If you don't like it, please come out and openly tell us. Do you want to be, sir, please let me complete. Do you, sir, let me complete. Let me complete, damn it.
Please let me complete. Listen to his question.
I want to ask you, what is your, please don't interfere. Please listen to the question. You are going on like a parrot. What is your idea of self-determination? You're already a part of the Indian Union. You don't want to be part of India. Do you want to be independent or do you want to join Pakistan? Please come out openly on this channel and let it be known to the people of India that whether it is the separatists, the Hurriyat, PDP or whoever, what is your position on self-determination? Let's have it from you today. What is the solution, sir? You people keep saying self-determination. Please define self-determination. What is self-determination? Let us have that and then let's move the debate forward.
Win-win solution. Let us talk to Pakistan. Sir, can I come in now?
Time is now, sir. Time is now.
Sir, talk to Pakistan.
Okay, Maruf, let's take your point. Let's take your point across to our other panelists.
Nor the Radcliffe Commission, nor anybody else sees Pakistan. Pakistan is put itself as a party to the dispute. See what they've done to your brothers across in Muzaffarabad and Mirpur. वो हालत चाहिए आपको कि यहाँ की हालत चाहिए जो आपको डेवलपमेंट मिल रहा है.
Maru, I believe they don't really want any of that. They just want the power that they have right now and that platform to call the shots. That's all there is to it. Because as far as the entire democratic process is concerned, people of Kashmir have already proven that this is what they want. They have democratically elected a government and that is the reality. But for a handful of people, it is just about their own politics, Maruf, and the power. But yes, Inamul Nabi and Irfan Hafiz Loan, I'll come back to you. I just want...
From the days of Sheikh Abdullah,
yes.
From the days of Sheikh Abdullah, Kashmiris have chosen to be part of the Indian Union and their participation in the election process is proof of that. Now, whether Pakistan says it happens at gunpoint or not, I don't give a damn.
Mr. Ruhullah, let's take that point, Maruf, to Mr. Ruhullah, former Minister and Chief Spokesperson of the National Conference, is with us now.
Has to do more. Certainly.
And let's get a voice from one of the mainstream parties in the valley as well. Irfan Hafiz, please wait on a minute.
Sir, you're a
wait on a minute, sir. Let's not yell over each other. Mr. Ruhullah, my question is to you. The message that has come from the Prime Minister today and the kind of response it got, even people traveling from across and coming in from the valley to attend that. Do you think those pro-Pak agents have today been marginalized?
I didn't see any message from Prime Minister Modi which would reach out to the people of Kashmir and address the anger that is in the streets. One needs to be clear that a developmental project which is welcomed in the valley.
Can I play out some of those visuals for you and some of those chants and slogans and all the cheering for you? I don't know which rally you were watching.
If you let me finish, then only I can make my point.
Okay, go ahead, please.
It's no fun being here. So, a developmental project should not be presented as an alternative to the political outreach. That's the only problem. You are, since yesterday, very desperately trying to create an opinion that this tunnel or any other political, physical outreach to the people of Jammu and Kashmir is an alternative to the political outreach.
Why not? Why not? You think the citizens of any part of our country are interested in any kind of politics that your party is indulgent?
Let me clear my point.
Mr. Farooq Abdullah may be interested in playing politics over it, Mr. Ruhollah, but people don't care. People care about their livelihoods and people care about their jobs.
We have always been saying that the issue of Kashmir is not about development and money. It's a
Is that why you didn't provide any development?
We need development. We need development in Kashmir. Kashmir needs to progress, but it should be coupled with a political outreach. We need to find a political tunnel into the valley.
The question then what Farooq is asking, why don't you respond to that? What is this political solution you keep talking about? How many times have you tried sitting across the table with the separatists and tried talking to them? What is this political solution? Please enlighten us tonight.
There are not only separatists which are on the other side of the table. There are multiple opinions which are on the other side of the table. You need to address them. You need to talk to them. You need to talk to all sections of the society. You need to address all the opinions. Then we can come to a conclusion. For example, ours is a mainstream.
For example,
which has thrived for years.
You were in power.
For years.
When you were in power, who were you going to talk to?
National Conference believes that our relationship with the rest of the nation was on certain conditions. Those conditions were demolished by the government of India time and again.
Can I tell you a reality?
Which is
when
also adding to a sense of alienation. Sense of alienation.
Sir, let me
here is the reality. When National Conference was also in power at the center, in alliance at the center, they were the most patriotic and nationalist party ever. Your leaders had the best things ever to say about the country. Suddenly now, today your senior party leader who is going to be fighting elections in Srinagar has a different tone. He's talking about different tones and the fight and the need to pick up guns. So please, why don't you and your leaders sit and introspect about what it is that you really want as so far as this political solution is concerned?
And the rest of the nation.
Lieutenant General B.S. Jaswal.
We need to respect those conditions. These are the words. These are the words.
Just taking in our other panelists and their viewpoints as well.
While he was in office.
Lieutenant Colonel B.S. Jaswal, my question to you, sir, is what else do people of how else do you resolve the situation?
The spokesman of the National Conference,
yes, yes, Maru.
The spokesman of the National Conference must remember that Sheikh Abdullah had a certain set of arrangements with New Delhi, and then the Abdullah's accord with the government of India, the 1975 Delhi Accord, very clearly laid down the terms of fresh engagement between Srinagar and Delhi. Most of them have been honored by Delhi. You're quoting Omar Abdullah. Please tell me, sir, when the first stone throwing episode happened in Kashmir, where was Omar Abdullah? Was he in Srinagar or Delhi? And what was he doing in Delhi? Because some of us are privy to some of the facts. You make your leaders appear as giants. Unfortunately, they have feet of clay, sir. So please don't blame Delhi only for resiling on arrangements. Your leaders have also let your people down. This is recorded. Ask anybody on the streets.
Okay, going across to our other panelists as well. Now, G.V. Narasimha Rao, before I go across to Lieutenant General Jaswal, 1 minute, sir. Let me bring in our other panelists. And then you can make your point as well.
Representing New Delhi in Srinagar.
Going across to G.V. Narasimha Rao, G.V., the allegation also is from the other side that we are making a big deal out of this one tunnel. So can you tell our viewers and our panelists what is the development plan, what is the Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas plan? The Prime Minister this is not the first time he has gone there and tried to reach out to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. What is the development plan, and is that the solution that your government has in mind?
No, Tanvi, I think development and Vikas are the best way to win the hearts and minds of the people, and separatists and even some mainstream political parties which have been voicing Pakistan's position are actually desperate. They keep raising this issue of political resolution. There is no resolution that remains pending in Jammu and Kashmir. The only resolution is, I think, getting back Pakistan occupied Kashmir. As far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, the only
This Prime Minister of India who has promised it.
How to speed up
Please,
development,
don't make fool your
how to
people.
ensure further development, how to use development, how to use progress as an antidote to terrorism and Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. That is the only priority of this government, and those who are acting as...
It is not terrorism. Please correct yourself. World has been reluctant to declare the militants in Jammu and Kashmir as terrorism.
They have no credibility.
Please correct yourself.
They have no credibility. Pakistan
Please
has no
correct
credibility
yourself.
in the world.
Even
and
those
these
who are
parties,
representing New Delhi in
these people who
Srinagar
are
has
doing the
endorsed
bidding,
that they are fighting for the
these who are
resolution of
doing the
Kashmir
bidding
issue.
of Pakistan have no credibility left. So our only focus is to
Don't see everything in the prism of Pakistan. It is an indigenous movement, and we are seeking political resolution to the dispute.
Development as an antidote to it.
Inamul Nabi,
Youth of Kashmir has given you answer.
you must be really
and we were
heartbroken
peacefully
today.
protesting for 6 months.
Inamul Nabi, you must be really heartbroken today, because all that you want to tell the people of Kashmir is about violence and unrest and picking up stones and fighting against every kind of establishment that they can think of. But look what is happening here. There are roads being constructed, bridges being made, job camps being put in the valley. The Prime Minister himself is trying to reach out. Now this comes, this doesn't work well with your plans, does it?
Tanvi, it took Government of India 70 years to construct a tunnel on instead of 30 kilometers, that has shortened the distance 9 kilometers. Still from Srinagar to Jammu, there is a distance of 280 kilometers. Still, despite constructing this tunnel. But now, my point is, having said this, such package, economical package, cannot compensate the bullet and pellet-ridden bodies of Kashmiris. We are seeking political package. We are seeking resolution of Kashmir issue. We are seeking
Which is what? What is this resolution? Which is what? Which is why we keep going back to the question that Maruf raised. It's easy to say resolution of the Kashmir problem, which is what? When, with whom? With people who are taking instructions from Pakistan. With people who are being paid by Pakistan, with people who have very conveniently sent their own families outside of the country, who are working very successfully and enjoying and partying in all parts of the world, but want the youth in Kashmir to fight their battles. We should talk to them.
Enjoying.
What is this political solution you're talking about?
You are sending dead bodies of our students. You are sending dead bodies of our students.
Who is pushing these students to the front line? Who is pushing these students to the front line? Inamul Nabi, why don't you go and stand on the streets the next time and try and tell these children and convince them to go back and not allow them to get misled? Who is pushing these children to the front line?
Places.
If you feel so much, why don't you explain these people to be at a safer location and not come in the way of an operation? I have to take a break at this point, but we come back and we start with Lieutenant General B.S. Jaswal. My apologies to you, sir. My apologies to you. Lieutenant General B.S. Jaswal coming across to you, but just as we do that, I just want to put across some facts that are also about the kind of development plan that is in place for Jammu and Kashmir, which is to say that it's not just about this 110-kilometer long tunnel. Development work worth 70,000 crores in the next 2 years is expected to come up in Jammu and Kashmir. There is a tender which is out for the Jammu Ring Road already. There is another one for the Srinagar Ring Road which will be out in the next 2 months, as well as for the Ladakh-Leh tunnel that will also be out in the next 2 months. Lakhanpur-Mahanpur-Basauli highway is also expected to come up, along with at least several other national highways that are currently in the pipeline. Now, these are the things that the Union Minister for Roads and Transport said today. So, Lieutenant General B.S. Jaswal, are people, you think, pro-Pak agents, separatists, feeling the heat as this government pushes ahead with a development agenda and pushes ahead in its efforts to reach out to the people personally and individually? Is that the way forward then?
Yes, definitely. Firstly, I'll request the panelists to kindly do not to interfere when I'm talking. Unfortunately, Pakistan and its proxies which are there in India, the Hurriyat Conference and other leaders who are propping up now, they do not want to touch the holy grail of development. They do not want to touch the holy grail of the help the integration which the government is endeavoring. Now, definitely, the people today in the valley, the separatists, etc., they've called a shutdown. And if someone says the shutdown is not in protest for the tunnel, I think let's not get misled on that. Thirdly, as far as the word, Mr. Nabi, I think he was saying, don't call them terrorists. Mr. Nabi, the definition of terrorist is given by the FBI. The first terrorist in the world was Mr. Sakari in the 5th century. Anyone who terrorizes the minds of people is called a terrorist. The terrorists are doing exactly that, putting fear now in the minds of police people, they're putting the fear in the minds of other people. The Kashmiri people, they are very happy with the development which is there. And to be frank, I also know a lot of friends, I've been saying so time and again, the feedback which comes from the ground level is that we are fed up of these people. They are forcing us. Fourthly, I would like to take on now the main thing, what Maruf Raza has said. Just a second, please. I request you.
Those men in uniform.
I request you. I request you, I said.
What about...
I request you maintain the decency.
Inamul Nabi, please hold on a minute. You will get your turn. He's requesting you to listen to him. Please do. Please show some respect. Yes.
Yeah. What Maruf had raised, what is the issue? You see, UN was there, plebiscite was there. There were 3 conditions. They were sequential and consequential. The sequence did not complete, so plebiscite was out. The UN has also said that the plebiscite angle is no more. Secondly, the Constitution of J&K, Chapter 1, Section 3, it says that J&K is and will remain part of India. Section 147 says that this section will not be amended, nor would the Section 147. So what is your question? Maruf asked a very right thing. What is this self-determination? Just you want to listen to Pakistan? They're paying people. They're using our youth as cannon fodder. None of the separatists, none of your children are there amongst the crowd. Why not? They are being used as cannon fodder.
Inamul Nabi, please explain when you say this is an indigenous movement and it's not being fueled from across the border. Then please explain to me why is it that just for 34 posts in the army, and not even the police, when recruitments were held in Kashmir, almost 5,000 youngsters turned up. Please explain to me, why is it that youngsters are queuing up for these job recruitment rallies in the forces, not just the Jammu and Kashmir police, but also the army? And why is it that those who are part of the security forces in Jammu and Kashmir police, why is it... Let me finish my question, please. Let me finish my question, please. Why is it, Inamul Nabi?
Whom you claim to be...
Either you allow me to finish the question or I take it to another panelist. That's how this goes.
To those men, what you will call to those
why is it that people who are part of the Jammu and Kashmir police are now being threatened? Their families are being threatened. People who want to be part of the democratic process of elections are being threatened. Ruhollah Khan, maybe you want to take that answer because Inamul Nabi doesn't really want to listen to this. So what part of this then just becomes individually or separately indigenous? When people are queuing up for jobs in the forces, when those who want to be part of the democratic process are being threatened by a handful of terrorists, then what is it? If it is not being sponsored by across the border.
First of all, my name is not Ruhollah Khan, it's Aga Ruhollah.
My apologies.
So, to come back to your question, see, we have been always saying there's an issue in Kashmir. We do not condone any violence. We do not support any violence. Violence is not a means of solution. That's what we believe in. But we are giving room for violence when we do not listen to the political opinions. Government of India, the nation of India once needs to realize that the sense of alienation, sense of anger in Kashmir needs to be politically addressed.
Mr. Aga Ruhollah,
not with might.
Do you have a specific answer to the question that I have asked you?
Yeah.
Because what you're saying is the rhetoric I've heard for the last 2 decades. My specific question to you was what is happening in the valley today, and are these not signs of change? And if you are a responsible mainstream party in Jammu and Kashmir, should you not be standing by people who want this change? Should you not be speaking of development instead of your senior leader there standing and trying to justify people who are picking up guns? That is my question to you.
Not at all. No one here justified people who are picking up guns. We have been the prime casualty of this turmoil. National Conference has been the prime casualty of this turmoil.
And candidate
do you even understand that? Do you even realize that? We have stood for the democracy. We have stood for the idea of democracy, and we have been the prime casualty. But still, we believe in that the issue of Kashmir needs to be politically addressed.
Card now.
Not with might.
Not with might. Don't try and play the victim card here. You are the ones who are unnecessarily adding fuel to the fire.
It's the way you are trying to frame us. It's the way you are trying to frame us. You do not have the courage to listen to the reality, to see the reality.
You don't have the courage to see the reality of what is happening and the changes that are happening.
You want to hide yourselves from the reality. That's another question. You do not want to sell the reality. You want the nation to see the reality.
You stop selling the reality which was there 25 years ago.
Then admit that.
Your party must stop selling the reality of what was happening in the 90s in that state.
The issue,
please accept what is happening today.
The issue in Kashmir is unaddressed. That's why we are giving window and opportunity to our neighboring countries to come in and exploit the situation in Jammu.
Because you become the hurdle in development. Yes, Maruf Raza, please go ahead, sir.
May I? Tanvi, I want to ask the panelists, the Kashmiri gentlemen, who are obviously very charged up, and I do share some of their sentiment that yes, there have been a lot of ignorance on the part of the leadership in Delhi in the past, where they have failed to address some of the key issues which upset the leadership there and the people there. But my question goes out specifically to the Kashmiris today who are hurt and marginalized. One, these political parties who are saying that the tunnel is no answer to anything, have they in the past, is there any record of them having moved initiatives with Delhi in which they could do away with the sense of alienation of the people of Kashmir and give them economic betterment?
I'll answer that.
They had all the freedom when they were in power. I remember myself speaking to I remember myself speaking to a former home minister in whose time the National Conference was in power, and I told him that I said, sir, why is it that you pour money into Kashmir and then leave it to the leadership to do the rest? He says, because we want to give them the freedom to do what they want. That is part of our arrangement with them. It was a kind of no alternative approach. But the second question, and the bigger question, is that has Kashmir, particularly south of Kashmir and 5 prominent districts where we are seeing a lot of stone pelting, veered away from the Sufi tradition of Kashmir, the absorbing, moderate Kashmiri tradition, and gone the Wahhabi way? If it has, what have these political parties done to stop that process, which is today behind this large sense of anger which the youth is being drummed up with Pakistan and other Wahhabi support, where south of Kashmir is certainly not what people in the Srinagar area take pride in? Can you please answer these two questions, sir? What did your political parties do when you were in power to stall that process?
It's convenient to say no such thing is happening in the valley because that doesn't really match with your narrative of how this is an indigenous movement. But go ahead, please. Answer what Maruf is asking.
To answer the question of Mr. Maruf as to what initiatives from our side were taken, from the side of the leadership in Kashmir, let me tell him, an institution as sacred as Jammu and Kashmir Assembly, which is democratically established and the members elected democratically, in 2000 passed a resolution with 2/3 majority and asked Delhi to understand that resolution. This could address the sense of anger in Kashmir. This could be a bridge. This could be a political tunnel into the Kashmir to address the political situation. That autonomy resolution, where is that? We have economically presented many ideas. Which ideas could address the sense of alienation in Kashmir in terms of economy? As to say those power projects. which we have been craving,
did you implement
for many
anything?
years.
Did you
Nothing
implement
happened.
anything?
Today they are
My
sitting
question
here and
is,
saying
what
for all
have you
these years
implemented? What have
that
you
the
done on the
economy was
ground?
not for
What
us
have
to
they done
implement.
as a mainstream political party at the state and the
Mr.
center?
Raza,
I fail to understand.
What-
I need to
what
start
gallery
wrapping
do
up
you want
this.
to address?
I'm sorry,
What
sir. I
gallery
need
do
to
you
start
want to
wrapping
address?
up this, and I have a very
Autonomy
quick
was
question
not
to
for us to
Jivel,
implement.
who didn't get much chance to speak this
my
evening.
question was very development specific.
Yes, please
My
hold on for
question
a
is
minute. I need to
development
start
specific.
wrapping
What have
up
you
this
done on the
debate.
ground?
Before I do that,
What happened
Jivel
to that?
Narasimha Rao,
What happened to
we
that?
couldn't talk much this evening, but very quickly before I wrap up, my simple question is, in the last couple of weeks, there have been indications by Mehbooba Mufti about reaching out to everybody and having talks with everyone. Now, as an ally partner, where do you stand on that tonight?
Tanvi,
Thanvi, I think as a democratically elected chief minister and for the government, they could talk to various stakeholders within the state. But there is, but I think that's talking to different
Tanvi,
political
my question
parties,
to Mr. Rao.
different
He said
groups. Can I just
Irfan
complete the
Hafiz, no,
sentence,
this is
please?
the
Can
point you had
please be
raised.
quiet?
Irfan Hafiz, no, this is the point you had raised. Please listen to the answer.
Tanvi, please.
You would want to hear
Tanvi,
what
I have a
BJP has to
small
say about
I
it.
have an
Please
important
listen to
question.
it.
Tanvi, only a question to Mr. Rao. Mr. Rao said that we are going to talk about other side of Kashmir with Pakistan. But Indian Constitution Schedule 1 doesn't recognize that part as Indian territory. Is BJP going to amend the Constitution?
Jivel Narasimha Rao, please. Okay, Jivel Narasimha Rao, and then we need to wrap this up.
What are you saying? All of Jammu and Kashmir is part of the Union of India. What are you saying, sir? You haven't read the Constitution. Jammu and Kashmir is all part of the Union of India. Pakistan is not party to the partition arrangement of 1947. Please read the partition agreement. What are you saying, sir? You haven't even read your historical facts. Neither the Constitution nor the Independence Act of 1947 recognizes Pakistan as a party to Jammu and Kashmir.
All of Jammu and Kashmir belongs to India and is legally Indian territory. But we are going off track here right now, viewers. The point of tonight's debate is to say, can this tunnel, a 10-kilometer long tunnel, become symbolic to hope and symbolic to development that should happen further in Jammu and Kashmir? And then can this tunnel, One India tunnel as we are calling it here on Times Now, bring about the winds of change for Jammu and Kashmir and integrate it with the rest of the country? On that note, I will have to wrap up this debate, but I thank you all for joining us. Thank you.